Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a fun looking puzzle in front of us. It's called Mess with the Bull, and if you're not from, I guess it's probably just an American phrasing or a Texas type of Southwest phrase that, well, we mess with the bull, you get the horns is the end to that. So we got a little bull here, the horns here, and this looks like the body of the bull. Kind of cool. I always like puzzles where they incorporate a visual with them as well. So anyway, it's by Atticus837. Let's take a look at the rules and see what's going on. So we've got normal Sudoku. So it's every row, column, and 3x3 box. Will contain the digits 1 through 9 once each. We've got killer cages. So digits in a cage may not repeat and must sum to the total in the top left corner if given. So here we have a cage that doesn't have a total, so it just means that these can't repeat. These will add to 13 and not repeat, and so on and so forth down the line. Then we have our region sum lines. So region borders divide blue lines into segments that each sum to the same total. Each line may have a different segment total. Normal rules there. So these two digits, because they're on a region sum line, they are in a given region, will add to some value, and then these four will add to that same value. And that's that. So with that said, let's jump into this one. I don't recall this one is super difficult or anything like that. I think it's kind of just in that mid-range area where we tend to stay. But with that said, let's get into this. Links in the description below. Let's see what we can figure out for this thing. All right, so we have a 1-3 or 1-2 to make a 3 here. That's a start. And these other guys, I don't know we have a ton, but let's start thinking about this, because if we're seriously reducing what this can be, there's going to be some work we can do here. So this is 1 or 2. Well, these have to be at a minimum 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 10. So this has to at least get up to a 10, which means it has to at least be an 8 or a 9. The problem is if you put a 9 here, what do you put here? Well, you'd put a 2 and break this. This can't be a 9. So it is 8 and 3. Now this has to get to a 10, we said, so this is 2 and 1. And that was the minimum it had to get up to, was the 10, which means these are a 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, yeah, there's no way these can be anything other than the 3, 4, because the most these can be is 9, 8, which is 17. So these have to at least add to 7. So they are the 3, 4. Good. Oop, wrong buttons pressed. You guys. All right. So we've got ourselves moving in some direction. Let's see what else we can figure out here. Do we have any other? This guy is a 1, 2, 3, 4 as well, but there's no real restriction over here. The 15 clue now, because we can no longer do an 8, 7 on a 15. This one has to be a 9, 6. Does that tell us anything about the 13? Or do we jump into U and see what this does? Let's check the 13 real quick, and we probably won't get anything really there, and we'll come back here. This can't be 9. Well, we do get something. It can't be 9, 4, obviously, because of this, and it can't be 7, 6, so it has to be 8, 5. Again, I guess it says an 8's in one of those, but that's not necessarily anything spectacular. Let's go into U. You can't be 2, so you can't be 3. Obviously, a 5 can only be from 1, 2, 3, or 4, 1, 4, or 2, 3. Let's try to think about this grouping now as well. These are going to be, again, a minimum of 10. The problem is we have multiple ways of going about getting ourselves at least up to 10. So I don't necessarily see anything here, but this, didn't even notice these are singular cells within a region sum line, so they have to be the same digit. Well, they can't be 8s. They are 5s. You're an 8. Okay, what about these 3 then? Is this going to help us more than the other one did? We need to have 2, 4, and 7. And these have to add to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Guess that means one of these is a 7. That's about all we know. What about 1, 2, 3? That's another 4, so it could be just 10. Don't know if that's going to get us anywhere just yet. These ones we said were 9 and 8, though. I didn't put those in. Do we have anything else that's super useful? I don't think so. I was going to say, can we get this up too high because of what it will do with the rest of this? But I think you could very well put 2 very low digits here. And it wouldn't blow this out, I don't think. Let's say this was a 7-2. The minimum this then could be would be a 1-3. So we're at 13. So yeah, this could certainly get up to 13 still. Okay. Is there anything to do with some of these other... What about you? Because the 3-4 is out now. Does this have to be 1-2? If it isn't... Now, there's certainly ways to work. Another thing to say would be one of these is a 7. In fact, these are just 5, 6, and 7. Didn't mean to do that one. 5, 6, and 7. We do get an X-wing on 7, so none of these will be. Again, I don't think that actually tells us a lot, but... Actually, we don't even know that that's an X-wing on 7s, because these don't have to be 7s, so forget I said that. Just erase it from your memory. These could always be 7s down in here somewhere. My bad. Grasping at straws. What about you? Again, can we force a 1 on it? Maybe that's the better way to think about it. Or a 2. Because if we don't use 1 or 2, the bare minimum these can be is a 5, 6. That's 11 right there. No, that still is possible, because this could be a 2, 3 with a 9. And that would... No, that wouldn't work. We'd be 1 off. Let's say these are 5, 6. That's 11. These could be a 1, 2. It gets us up to 14. No, we can't get to it. Okay. Little oopsie on the math there. We would have been 1 short in the way I'd previously stated it here. So that means there is a 1 or a 2, but we probably can't reduce that much further. So maybe we need to find something else before we go over to here. One of these will be a 5, by the way. I guess you could still be a 5, because this could be 1, 4, or 2, 3. Do we have a minimum here? 10. Which means these have to at least add to 10. But again, there's tons of ways that could work. These have to add to 10 minimum. Which means those would be 10 minimum. These are 10 minimum. What was you again? Well, there's way too many options. It could be 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5. Well, it can't be 1. Because then we'd be at 9, and the min here is 10. So one of these guys is 1, I guess, but one of those is 1. So this could just be 2, 3, 4, or 7. No, don't really see anything else we can work with on that one. Okay. I don't think any of the other cages necessarily tell us anything at the moment. Because again, the 24, we can get to 24 in 3 digits. It's not a big deal. This guy is just telling us we can't repeat. He's probably there for a little bit later down the road. Wait, these can't be 2s. Well, that's the easier way to go about it. Didn't notice that. This is a 2-7 pair. Thank you. Which means there is a 4 on this thing. There is a 3 over here. Don't know if that gives us much more. Trying to kind of scan around for a second. Should mark these things just to make sure I'm not... Okay, let's... Again, if this could be a 2, because this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, there's nothing correlating back to that. At least not that I can see right at the bat. wonder if we need to get into some of these guys and just see what the options become. 4, 6, 7, and 9 are kind of what's left over here. I don't see anything there that I can necessarily start restricting, though. We know there is a 4 over here. That's about all we really know. All right, what else can we look at then? I feel like we've searched every clue at this moment, and we don't have anything poking its head out here. If this is a 6, this has to be a 4. Wait, this is... Okay, again, I'm just being stupid. Well, not stupid, but blind is a better way to say it. This has to add to 5. It is a 1, 4. This is 3. This is 2. Now this has to beat the 9, because we had to at least get to 10. Okay, so this adds to 12, so these have to be something that gets us to 12. All right, let's get back to using our brain if we can. You are 7, so you are 2. You are a 4, 7 pair. And there is an 8 over here. I don't think that gives us much more, though. At least not at the moment. Got to find something else we can work with. Now, I'm guessing you have to have a 1 on this thing, right? Yeah, there's no way you're not going to have a 1, right? Because we have to get to 12. If we don't have a 1, we're looking at 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's way over the mark. So there is a 1 here. That does give us an X-swing, so we can put 1s here. Now this has to add to 15. That does not preclude a 1, or force a 1, I should say. These can't be 7s, though. So this is 4, 6, 9. This is 5, 7. Again, we just have to put our information in here, kind of losing the plot by looking elsewhere sometimes when there's just easier things to focus on. These are what? 6, 8, and 9? Let's put that in and rethink our lives. Let's see. Again, we can't really say anything about this guy, I don't think. Because 5 could work in multiple, or we can do 1, 2 here. You're not 1, you're not 2. No, that's there. We know there's a 1 on this thing. The min this again, the min this can be is now 1, 5. That's 6. That gets us to 8 total. If we don't put the 1 here, yeah, that's not gonna work. Because if we don't put the 1 here, we have now excluded 1, 2, 3, and 4. This would be a 5, 6, that's 11. We're already at 13, which is above what we can do. So one of these is the 1. One of these is a 1. Now, can we continue to hone this down? Because we said 1, 5 could work. Because that could be 6, 8. This could be 4. We could do 1, 6. That's 7. That's 9. This could be a 3 to get us to 12. What about a 1, 7 possibility? That's 8 to 2. No, because this would have to be a 2. So these are the options here. And this can't be 5, and this can't be 6. One of these has to be a 9. And it can't be you. There's at least a little something there. Do we know anything else about some of these things? Let's think. Or something in here maybe we can start to use. Not really. I guess we can start to reduce this guy a little bit. 3, 4, 5, or so it can't go up to a 6, so it's just 3, 4, or 5. Because we obviously can't use the 1 or the 2, and we have to get up to 5 or 7. Let's keep going through those though. If this is a 3, this would be a 2 to get to 5, a 4, which it can't be to get to 7. If it's a 4, it can't be a 1 to get to 5, and it can't be a 3, so this is never a 4. And if it's a 5, this just has to be a 2. Is this always just a 2? Yeah, it's always just a 2. Because again, this has to be from 3, 4, or 5. Can't go to 6 because of the 1. We've removed the 4 as a possibility because it would either be a 1 or a 3 here, which it cannot be either. Therefore, this is 2. Okay. Doesn't quite tell us what these are, but at least it gets us something in the ballpark. One of these will also be 2. And one of these will be 2. Okay. Let's see what else we can figure out there. Still don't think we can get into this guy. Now, can we say there has to be a 1 or a 2? Because otherwise it'd be 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's 18. That's way too much. So we have to at least have a 1 or a 2, or both. Now the question's gonna be, how does that help? And actually, we do have some information over here. I just noticed too. We might be able to reduce this bad boy some, because we're currently at 11. The minimum these can be is a 1, 2. So that puts us at least 14, which means these have to be from 6, 7s, 8s, and 9s. This is a quad 6, 7, 8, 9. One of these is a 7. This is from 1, 3, or 4. And then what's the max this could be? 11 plus 5 gets us to 16. Yeah, that could work because it could be 9, 7. So if one of these, we said the minimum we had to get to is 14 because of the 11 plus 3. So if we have a 7 on this, it can't have a 6 on it, which means you are a 6 because obviously 7 and 6 is 13. Okay. Now we're into an 8, 9. We've got an 8, 9 pair looking through here. What good that does, I don't know. Let's see. What else we got? We've got that 7, 8, 9. We've got the 1, 3, 4. Now this either adds to 15 or 16. Does that restrict this in any way, shape, or form? Because this, again, is 11. So we have to add to 4 or 5. No, because it could be a 1, 3 pair to get us to the 4. It could be a 2, 3. Well, it always has a 3 on it. So this has to be a 2 then, by that logic. Let's go through that again. This is an 11. We have to put a 3 on here to be able to get to at least 15. Because that would be, this would be a 1, 2. If it didn't, that's 3. That's only 14. Yeah, this has a 3 on it. This is a 2. Which means this is a 1, 3. Which means it adds to 15. Which means this is the 7, 8. There we go. 9, 8, 9, 8. And what now? So we figured out the math. We've got this math. This guy is not quite done yet. We haven't touched these guys yet. We haven't really done too much over here just yet. But now this guy is a little bit reduced as to what it could be. One of these will be a 9, by the way. 4, 5, 6, 7. There has to be a 3 over here also. Do we have anything else like that? We can start pumping into these areas. There's a 2 over here. 6, 7, 8, 9. That's the only thing else we can do. Wait, if there's one of these is a 3, this is not a 3. Okay, just had to verify that again. It doesn't really tell us anything here though, because the 3 was the one thing it didn't really affect what those were. Okay, now this obviously cannot be a 2-3 pair. So we have to have some high digit on here because these again have to at least add to 10. Trying to see if there's some other way to increase that minimum. I don't quite think so. So let's start thinking about what some of these things could be. Or is there a reduction on here? Or more importantly, can we push anything onto here? Maybe. Because what if we didn't put a 1 on this thing? It'd be 2, 3, 4, 5, which is 14. Yeah, we can make 14 work. No, it's not going to help us too much. Okay. Again, this is either 10, 13, or 15. I don't think I see anything there that we can work with. And this 24 cage, I want to keep thinking about it, or try to start thinking about it in some sort of fashion, but I don't think we have enough there yet either. Okay, do we have to start really digging into what these guys can and can't be? Don't think so. Let's do a quick look at Sudoku. I haven't touched it in a bit. Again, I don't think it's going to tell us much of anything, but you never know when something can creep up on you. It doesn't hurt to check. One of those will be a 3. No. Again, I don't think we're going to, but doesn't hurt to try. Okay, maybe we can. There's an 8 down here somewhere, which means there's an 8 up here. That's a little glimmer of hope, I guess. Don't know if it really tells us anything, but there's a 9 right here. There's a 9 up here. And that might be where we end our Sudoku journey, at least for this one at the moment. All right. What does any of this stuff tell us? Now, it'd be great if we can force an 8 into here, because that's because of the cage, it would push it here. I guess we know there is either a 9 or an 8 on this, and there could technically be both. Well, no, there can't be, because this can only add to 15. So one of these, okay, this has to be it. This one has to be the remaining 9 or 8. One of these is going to be a 9 or an 8, and the remaining 3 digits have to add to 6 or 7. if the remaining 3 digits have to add to 6 or 7, they have to have a 1 and a 2 on them. 1 and 2. And then what's remaining here is 3 or 4. So 3, 4, 8, 9. This is a 1, 4, 1, 6. That makes this a 3. This is all working mathematically because that's... Wait. No, this was 1. I pushed the wrong button. I was like, that doesn't work mathematically. 10, 12. These are 12. That does work mathematically. This has to be a 7. Good. What are these 3 digits? 4, 5, and 8. That's not going to get us too far. This one's not the 8, though. What about you guys? 4, 5, and 7 at this point. And only the 7 is a given. You guys are 4, 5, 6, and 8. Okay. All right, let's think about what these are. There's no 2 on here, or here, by the way. What is going with my typos? I'm not hitting the right digits here. This was supposed to be a 1. No, this was the 1. This was the 4. This was the 1. This was the 6. This was the 3. Wow. Something, I'm just hitting the wrong buttons constantly. It's really frustrating. Okay. Anyway, back to what we were thinking about. Just trying to look at the 1s. Again, you guys are not 2s. All right, this was either, again, a 9, 3, or an 8, 4. They're not 3s, because we just put the 3 over here. So this has to be the 8, 4 to get us to 12 so that these can add to 15. There we go. So this is the 9. That forces the 7 and the 8 because we can't repeat digits. This is a 1 because we can't repeat digits. 3, 1, 4, 3. Making sure I'm typing the right things in, even though I'm saying the right thing. My hands can't get the right things to go. Okay, so can we actually reduce this guy? It seems like we got a lot of reduction here. It can't be 1, can't be 2, can't be 3, can't be 4. It could be 5, could be 6, can't be 7, can't be 8, can't be 9. So this is reduced somewhat significantly, some would say. Now, this is never going to be a 3 because of that, because we have to at least get to 10. We also know that one of these is a 1. Now, I think we said we had to put a 1 on here. Well, maybe now we have to put a 1 on it. Because what if we don't put the 1 on here again? 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 14. 14 is the absolute most we could put on it, but this could work because this could be 9 and 5. Okay, that didn't quite do it. What else? Let's look back at our Sudoku here. The 1s are in X-wings, the 2s are in X-wings. One of these 2 is going to be the 3. We already know one of those 2 is a 3. One of these 2 is a 3. That's an X-wing. There is a 3 on this thing. Little bits of info. We take them. One of those is a 4. I know I put these in previously, but it's not necessarily... Well, it's actually here. This is a 4-8 pair because of these 4s. And this one has to be the 8 and the 4 then. Okay, that's perfect because now we can put these 2 in and maybe find something out. Yeah, 5 and 7. So that's the 5, that's the 7. That forces the 3, which forces the 5 and 7. Good. This can't be the 3, so this one is. Let's keep going down that line, because this is helping. The 1s and 2s are still set where they are. The 3s, are they? No, they have that X-wing. Okay, let's go back to the 4s there. One of those 2 is a 4. We know one of those 2 is. We know those. Something in there. How about 5s then? One of these, no, whatever these 2 digits, 5 and 6. Let's put those in, which means these are 3 and 7s. Might as well put them if we have them. 5s, no. 6s, no. 7s, not really either. We might have to start thinking about the values of here in terms of their maximum values too. One of these is an 8. One of those, but I don't think that helps us any. Again, unless we can remove an 8 from these positions. We'll come back to that in a second. You're not 9. You can't be a 3. There we go. It didn't see that. This can't be 3, so this is 9. Good. Now we have 12 on this. So these 2 have to add to another 12 without using 9, 3, or 8, 4 was the only way to do that. 7, 5. This is 5. This is 7. This is 6. This is now 15. This is 5. This is 4 and 7. These are what? 2 and 4. Took me a second to see that. 2, 4. Okay, we're getting there. This is now a 7, so what can we do with these groupings? This can no longer be the 9, 6 to be 15, because this would have to be a 7, 8. Can't be. Can it be 13? It could if this was a 6. It can't be 10. It has to be the 13, because if it's 10, it has to be a 3. So this is 6. These have to add to 13, so they are the 9, 4. This is the 6. And this is 7 and 6. I just saw that, which we can then finalize our 6 up here, which gives us our 4. And we should be in the money, as they say at this point. What are you guys? We need a 5 somewhere. It's got 2 places. Maybe this is even better to look here, though. 9 and 5. What are these 3? 1, 8, and 7. Here we go. We've got a 1, 7 pair. This is 8, 1, 7. These are a 5, 9. This is not a 1. This is. Perfect. This is 4, 9. Let's put these in. 5, 9, 4, 9, and we'll start to pick this guy off in terms of what it can be. The 7 here says 3, 7, so let's put those in. This is either 2 or 4. The 6 says 5, 6. We have some cleanup we could be doing. This is either 4 or 8. And let's put you in just for poops and giggles, then we'll work on our math. What can these be? 2, 4, 5, 8, and 9. Okay, let's go through them. 15. We've got 4 right now, so these have to add to 11, which means you can never be 5, you can never be 4, you can never be 8, and it just has to be a 2, 9. So this is the 2, this is the 9, 4, 8, and 5, and that should set everything off. 4, 8, 2, 4. The 9 says 4, 9, and 5, 9. There we go. You got the horns, as I stated very at the beginning. It hasn't been out for this long, I don't think. Maybe it has. I know it was one of the ones that I've had queued up for a while, but only 605 solves if it is actually the 3 months old that it says it is. Again, I don't think it quite is, but good puzzle, really fun puzzle. I did enjoy that one. There's a lot of work that needed to go into that thing to figure out what everything was doing, but got there in the end. So perseverance, as always. Anyway, couple of little typos, which of course annoy the heck out of me. I got to get better with my typing skills because it really messes these things up sometimes. But anyway, that said, hope you all enjoyed this one as much as I did, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.